You're probably thinking, what the actual hell is this video? Don't worry, I'm going to explain. And this is actually one of the more useful videos because they're on a really interesting topic. So Eat the Frog Productivity Boosting Guide, let's go. Trash productivity is definitely one of the biggest things impacting your ability to learn a language. And Eat the Frog, as the title is actually, it's actually a thing that's been around for a while. It's an excellent productivity tactic. And I want to share it with you guys because it might help a lot of you with language learning, particularly if you having trouble being productive, being consistent, you have a low time, you're a little bit disorganized, like any of those things really. So by the end of this video, you'll understand how to eat the frog to basically boost your progress in language learning or any passion project really. And yeah, if you like this kind of educational content on language learning, definitely hit the subscribe button. It does help the channel, but let's go. So what is Eat the Frog? What the actual hell does Eat the Frog? Do I have to eat an actual frog? You can if you want. I wouldn't recommend it. You don't have to eat an actual frog for this one. This isn't some weird video, but yeah. Eat the Frog is basically a productivity hack or, a productivity thing people use for doing difficult tasks. So let me explain. It's been around for a while, but basically the idea behind Eat the Frog is a hypothetical situation where you have to eat a frog with dinner. And so the options you have are you can either eat the frog before dinner, and then you can eat you have a delicious dinner, by the way, you just have to eat a live frog. It's disgusting. And stick with me on this. You can either eat like a live kind of cold, disgusting frog. It's obviously gonna taste horrible. And then you can wash it down with a really nice dinner, or you can eat the really nice dinner and then eat the frog afterwards for dessert. And whoever suggested this, it might have been Mark Twain. I'm so sorry, I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Basically, the theory is that it's actually better to eat the frog before dinner and then wash it down afterwards, because it's disgusting obviously, but you can get it out of the way, and then you can wash it down afterwards with a nice dinner. Alternatively, if you actually chose the pleasurable thing first, you could eat the nice dinner, and then when it comes to, I am going somewhere with this, so please listen, it is important. You could eat the nice dinner, but the whole time you're eating the dinner, you're going to be dreading eating the frog, and then finally, you're going to have to eat the frog and have that horrible taste in your mouth. Basically, the theory behind that analogy is that it's easier to do the difficult thing first when you have, maximum energy, maximum productivity, and then to put it off and be thinking about it for like the rest of the day. So you're better off doing the difficult, important task first and then relaxing afterwards. And that probably makes sense, but you still don't know how to actually implement this. So I'm going to explain how you can implement the Eat the Frog productivity hack to boost your language learning. So basically, there are 3 steps to Eat the Frog. 1, decide on your frog. The frog is basically going to be the most important task or a very important task, and it's usually a difficult one. So for language learning, it might be you never make time for flashcards, for example. You need to do flashcards and you find it kind of irritating. So your frog task would be, I need to do some flashcards for language learning. Step 2 is to plan specifically what you're going to do. So it's all well and good to say, I'm going to language learn as my frog task, but what does that even mean? Especially if you're doing it right at the start of the day when you're maybe a little bit unmotivated, it's going to be difficult to just make up what you're going to do. So you need to plan it out in advance. So just write down your specific goal. For example, if you need to do flashcards, you can write down, I'm going to do a deck of 20 flashcards 3 times in my target language. So you might have a deck of flashcards on animals in Italian as a random example, and it's got 20 cards or whatever, and you're just going to say, okay, I'm going to go through it 3 times in a row, then I'm done. That's my frog task. That's a good frog task, and it can be anything like that. It could be watching a vlog, it could be literally anything, whatever you decide is important for language learning. You should watch, if you're not sure about that, watch other videos on my channel. I've got plenty of videos explaining that. So yeah, you would write down your specific goal, and writing it down is good as well. Don't just think it, you'll hold yourself accountable by writing it down. You can make a habit tracker if you want. We'll talk about that a bit later. But yeah, and then of course, step 3 is to eat the frog. So the idea of eating the frog is you actually do it at the start of the day. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, I don't want to do that. I feel sleep deprived in the morning. First of all, go to bed early if you're feeling sleep deprived. And make sure you're getting a good night's sleep. That's super important. And you won't actually be able to learn as well if you're not sleeping enough. But yeah, it's important you eat the frog in the morning, because if you don't do it first thing in the morning, what's going to happen is you're actually going to think about it the rest of the day and you're going to procrastinate. And I've actually recently made a video on the procrastination cycle. Definitely check that one out. But it's not a good thing to put off something you should be doing. So give this a try. It does work. As soon as you do it, you can relax afterwards and reward yourself, and you don't have to think about it, and you've got rid of the most important task of the day. So let's talk a little bit more about this. A few important notes is, I've written set an alarm. The reason, you don't have to set an alarm, but if you're a person who sleeps in, past when you should be. That's probably also because you don't go to bed at the right time, but setting an alarm can be good. And yeah, I know a lot of you probably are hesitant to do work straight away in the morning, and that's because you're not awake properly. And I totally agree. Doing work when you're not properly awake is probably not the best idea because it's just not going to be very productive. You're not going to remember things if you're like, very, very tired and not concentrating. So I definitely say wake yourself up properly. And this is just a really good tip for life as well. Don't ever wake up and then stay in bed. I feel like when you wake up, you need to get out of bed straight away. I know Andrew Huberman recommends that, and a few other things he recommends. If you don't know who Dr. Andrew Huberman is, I'll link his YouTube channel in the description. He's like a neuro doctor, neurosurgeon, and he has a podcast that he talks about scientific stuff to kind of improve your life. But basically, to wake yourself up in the morning, cold therapy, super, super good. It's not bad for you. I know, like my parents would say, oh, you're going to get sick if you're having a cold shower. Not true. You can get sick from like cold, clammy exposure for a long time, but having a 30-second cold shower wakes you up. You're not going to get sick from that unless you're already sick, in which case, maybe don't make yourself cold. But if you're literally trying to wake yourself up, cold shower, fantastic for you. Cold therapy is good for you. It's like a shock and it will wake you up like that, basically. Sunlight as well. Direct sunlight into your eyes is good. When it's dark, we're a diurnal species, human beings. I think that's the right word. So yeah, sunlight will wake you up, and then of course caffeine if you want. So maybe you don't have to do it straight away, but maybe 15 minutes after you wake up, you hit the most important task. That's super okay. I'm kind of a person who, as soon as I get up, I'm like ready to go. So I just jump straight into it, but that's me. You might take half an hour and then you want to do it. Don't take multiple hours. That's too far. Nobody needs that much time to wake up. I know you might laugh and say, I'm that kind of person. You're not. You can actually wake yourself up in like 15 minutes, but yeah. Zero distractions as well. So this is your most important task. Don't be on your phone while you're doing it, unless of course you're like watching a vlog on your phone. That's your frog task, like watching a vlog in Russian or whatever language you're learning. But attention residue. The reason I've written that is because when say you get upright and then before you do the frog task, you check your phone, for example. What's actually happened there is you've actually lost a little bit of productivity because of a thing called attention residue, which basically means the more things you look at, and then, like, say you do something and then you switch tasks to another thing, you've actually left a little bit of your kind of attention, focus, and productivity behind. And this is actually a documented thing. This does happen. It's been proven. When you constantly task switch, you're actually leaving a little bit of your productivity behind. So you're better off going straight into the important task than checking your phone. Don't check your phone notifications before you've done the frog task. Habit trackers as well. I'll have my video for habit trackers pop up on the screen and be in the description. You should definitely check it out. But yeah, habit trackers are super good. If you want to do the same frog task every single day, you can tick it off for the previous days. I won't go into that because I've made another video on it, but yeah, it's good for accountability. And then win stacking as well. You can look back at your habit tracker and be like, yeah, I did a good job, and be proud of yourself. But yeah, I'll have links in the description to my other videos that are useful, plus further reading on Eat the Frog if you want to learn more about that as a productivity tactic. Subscribe, guys. Definitely comment any questions down below. Links to my website and my Discord in the description if you want to check them out. And yeah, have a good one. Appreciate you watching this.